Okay, here we go. We're going to do just a brief training on dialing. If you're watching this video, it means you just finished your contracting, or you're just about to finish your contracting, and you've either got some leads in hand or you're just about to purchase a bunch of leads. So what are we going to do with those? This is it. Now, before I start, I want you to make sure you understand this does not replace the Rob Jones, Bill Martin training videos on the Equus website. Okay, I'm not going through all that stuff. I use their script, I use their principles, I use everything that they taught and teach. That's the stuff you want to use. So just get on and watch those to learn about overcoming objections, all that stuff. I'm not going to get into that here. What I want to do is just explain a couple of things before you start your first dialing session. Okay? The ultimate goal when you're dialing, or actually anything in this business, the ultimate goal is you want a profitable business. In order to generate profits, you have to get into homes and you have to run appointments and you have to write business. Okay? You have to submit applications. In order to do that, you have to make a lot of phone calls. And in order to make phone calls, you have to have leads, right? So it goes from leads to phone calls to appointments to applications. And that turns into commissions. This is the simple, very simple process. There's formulas here, and I'm going to show you a couple of things on how to do this and get set up right. But before you start your dialing, you need to keep a mindset in place, a certain mindset. When I started out on C leads. I think most everybody we bring on board is going to start at that level because they're just not used to the way that we do things, the overcoming objections and all that. You can either learn your lesson $42 at a time or $2 at a time, or even 50 cents at a time if you want to go to D-Leads. But the purpose, or the point, what I'm trying to say is when you're starting out, the mindset that I want you to have on this first week or two is that this is my education phase. And if, oh, by the way, I happen to write a piece of business out of it, icing on the cake, okay? Literally. No, I'm not trying to teach a negative mindset. I want you to have a positive mindset, but I don't want you to expect to come out of the gate writing a whole bunch of applications, because most agents don't, frankly. I didn't, and most agents just are going through the motions. And so here's the thing. You can sit at your computer and you can study and learn and review and watch and read and take tests all day long. It's classroom education, and there's a certain amount of value to that. But until you're out in the field, until you pick up the phone, you can only get so far. So for every, I'd say, 10 minutes you spend on the phone actually dialing is worth 2 or 3 hours of studying at your computer. So get off of that. Watch it, go through it, then push it aside and just force yourself into the field, force yourself to pick up the phone, even though you still won't feel ready. You're not going to feel ready. That's okay. So this is the process. The sooner you get into it, the sooner you get through it, the sooner you're going to start making money. But I want you to think, this is my education. I'm just learning how to handle people. And if I happen to set an appointment, fantastic. Below you're going to see some links. Appointments to profit, okay? This is where you're going to use this little calculator. I have it right up here. $36,000, which is a good income for a lot of part-timers. But you can look on here and you can see, oh, for 36 grand I need about 6 A leads per week, $228, or 20 B leads. Or if you go to Mailco leads, 22 B leads, $64 a week is my investment on that, etc., etc. And all it means is, if you're the higher the quality of the lead, the less time you're going to have to put into your business and on dialing, and the more time you're going to be out presenting. So if you have extra money to put in towards leads, fantastic. If you don't, but you have extra time, then buy older leads, and you can spend more time dialing. Okay. There's another sheet that I'll give you access to right here. This just gives you the ratios. So you've got A, B, C, and D leads. You can see the close ratios. These are national averages. Just like the $500 commission per sale is a national average. I've actually found it to be a little bit higher than national average, but depending on where you are, it's 500 is kind of the national. So anyways, this is the system, and these are the sheets that will kind of help you determine how many leads. So you want to first establish your lead flow. What am I going to do every week? Now, if you're on inventory leads, you're kind of at the mercy of what happens to be on inventory. If, on the other hand, you're ready to commit, you get on what's called a standing lead order, where Equus just automatically sends you leads when they show up in the inventory. That commitment puts you at the top of the rankings, and you're guaranteed to get whatever bit leads come in that area when they come in. So if you want to secure your business, the best way to do that is to get on standing lead order. So once you get your leads, you're going to sit down and dial. Let me talk about that for just a second. Close the door. Go to the bathroom. Get your drink. Get everything you need. Get all your distractions out of the way, because what's going to happen is you're going to find 1,000,001 things to do that are going to slow you down and push it off, because nobody looks forward to sitting down and dialing for 2 hours. We just don't. That's just normal. Okay, so you're probably not excited about it. That's fine. Get excited about what it does for you, not about the thing itself. So block off a schedule. Block off 2 hours or 3 hours. Get yourself a big fat stack of leads. I would say start with no fewer than 50 and plan on making no fewer than 250 dials in that first session. Just boom. Okay, and the first ones are going to be terrible. You're going to be bad. You're going to get hung up on. You're going to have people, you catch them at an off moment of their day, and there's a lot of people that are going to be nice and just tell you no, but there's all kinds of objections that are going to start coming at you, and you're going to start getting familiar with talking about insurance on the phone with people. And that's all you're trying to do. The whole goal of this is to set an appointment, not to talk about insurance. So I kind of said that wrong. You're technically not talking about insurance. You're just talking about an appointment. That appointment is where they get the answers. So if you give them the answers on the phone, they have no reason to set an appointment. You're just trying to book a time so you can resolve the lead. Watch Bill Martin's training. It's fantastic. That's all you're trying to do. And you're resolving it either in person, on an appointment, or you're going to resolve it door knocking and showing up at their door, or you can text. You text to get the appointment. So there's a process there, but you're going to want to dial first. That's the easiest way. Then you set the in-home presentation, and then you close a certain amount of business, about half of the time. So what most agents start out doing is worrying about the education. Like, I got to sit with somebody, and I got to explain all this stuff. I'm going to sit here and learn all the nuances of all the different policies and the riders and everything, so that I'm intelligent when they ask a question. Totally backwards. Do not worry about all that stuff, because if you don't have money because you don't have appointments. You don't have appointments because you haven't dialed. You haven't dialed because you don't have any leads. So you're worried about this when you're clear over here, and that's backwards. Okay, we don't even have to worry about this until we have a whole bunch of appointments, right? You got to dial. So don't worry about education. In fact, that should be the one thing that probably almost way down on the list. I promise you, I felt the same way when I started out. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Very few people care that you do. You've got all the answers there in front of you, and then you pick up the phone, dial your upline inside of your meeting, and we help you close it. So don't worry about that. Worry about this and this right now. Get your leads, get your lead flow, and start dialing. Set a session. Saturday mornings are good, evenings are good. There's no right or wrong answer. It's when people pick up, that's the right time to dial. Can be any time of day, whatever your schedule is. Block it off in a calendar, and then commit to that schedule. And you can see on these sheets about how many dials you're going to have to make to set the number of appointments that you need to make in order to close the amount of business that you need to close in order to have the type of income that you would like to have for that period of time. That's all predictable, and you can just calculate it right out. So this is the thing. So when I look at a stack of leads, I get a whole stack, and I think to myself, it's like a baseball card deck. I used to collect baseball cards when I was a kid. And there's a few good ones in there, and then all the rest are regular players. And they're like, okay, another one of these. And then you find a rookie, rookie of the year player or something that you were trying to find. Anyways, same thing. In the stack, you don't know who the big profitable policy commissions are going to be, but look at each one as that possibility. And as you're dialing, this could be the next fantastic appointment. This could be the next family that I can go out and help protect. So I want you to kind of look at it that way. So like Bill says, you start out, you go low and slow, unlike the way I've been talking. I've kind of been rushed. But when you're on the phone with somebody, take it down a notch in your tone and go a little bit more monotone and slow down. Take a deep breath and go slower. That's going to keep you out of sales mode, because high-pitched kind of comes across as a little bit salesy on the phone. So you block off the time, eliminate your interruptions. You sit down with that stack of leads and commit to going through the entire stack. The only reason you're going to stop before hitting the bottom is if you happen to book out your schedule and you've got no more time to book any more appointments. Okay, that would be a pleasant problem to have, right? That's the only reason. Otherwise, you're going through the whole thing, all right? And this is the best way to do it, because if not, you're going to have this start and stop thing where you get into a few and you'll be like, oh, this, I had got somebody that was not happy that I called, and so I'm going to take a break, or I'm going to go watch some TV, I'll come back and do this later. And you're going to get this start and stop, and you won't really have any momentum. So commit to the whole thing regardless. And you'll find that after 10, 20, 30 dials, you're going to start getting into a bit of a mode. You'll build up a little bit of a barrier against the rejection, and you'll feel better about yourself. You'll start feeling more comfortable, but you have to push yourself over that hump in order to do it. So no starting and stopping, commit to the whole thing, and you resolve the lead either by dialing, and then by texting if you can't get it through, dialing, and then take a picture and text it to the person, and then door knocking. If that doesn't work, you just show up at the door with the lead in hand. And then the last thing is a carrier pigeon, I guess. I don't know. But the goal that you should have, every single lead that you have in your hand, you should resolve that lead. And what that means is get an answer from that person that's a yes or a no. Either yes, we're going to meet, or a no, I don't want anything to do with this. I am taken care of. Resolve the lead. Don't leave anything unresolved, because there's a lot of business just sitting there in unresolved leads, I promise you. Be the agent that is super diligent and follows through with every single lead all the way to the end, and you'll have massive amounts of success. So those are some of the principles of dialing. I'm going to get off now so you can start dialing. Make sure that you've got the script. Just read through the script. That's all I do. Even after doing it a year, I've got it up on my computer screen. When I'm dialing, I'm just looking at the script. It keeps me right on track. So do that. Don't try and reinvent anything. Just follow the system. Get through your leads. You're going to get some rejections. Manage your expectations at first. This is the education phase. When you're first starting out, first week or two, you're not trying to book a bunch of business. Might happen. Awesome if it does. You're trying to gain an education, a very inexpensive education, but an education on how to present, how to dial, how to talk on the phone, how to organize leads. Just doing it is the best education. I'm super proud of you for doing it, and I wish I could be there with you, doing it with you, but heck, this is all I'd be saying if we were sitting there face-to-face talking. So here you go, off to the races. Push stop now, get into your dialing session, commit, get through the whole thing, and then when you're done, call your upline manager and let them know how that session went. In fact, if you talk to more than 5 people and you keep getting rejections, you should press pause, dial your upline manager, find out maybe something that you're doing wrong, and then reset, go back in and keep going, because you don't want to get too far doing the wrong thing without getting a little bit of feedback. Anyways, that's it. Just do it. Just do it over and over. You'll get the hang of it. You'll figure things out, and it will be awesome. All right. Take care.